Look at this room. It is, all these people turned out for pro bono. Looking good, and a full room, and a beautiful place. I'm really impressed and proud that the legal community turns out for this, for the Pro Bono Institute. Welcome to this 2016 PBI Dinner. I'm Michael Fricklas, as you heard, EVP and General Counsel and Secretary of Viacom. I'm really excited to be here with you for this special occasion as we celebrate the achievements in pro bono. This year we're recognizing the 20th anniversary of the Pro Bono Institute. And in doing so, we're honoring the legacy of its founder, Esther Lardon. So yeah, give it up. We're also celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Corporate Pro Bono Challenge Initiative, a benchmark that PBI launched to promote and measure the growth of in-house pro bono. Thank you for everybody. You've all contributed to the success of this evening's celebration. To the members of the Annual Dinner Benefit Committee, our annual dinner sponsors, thank you for your generosity, your commitment to PBI, pro bono, and access to justice. I also want to thank my fellow co-chairs, my good friends, Laura Stein and Brad Smith. Yeah, Laura Stein. Awesome. When Esther founded PBI 20 years ago, the idea that Laura, Brad, and so many other chief legal officers and I could play such an important role in the legal community's collective effort to improve access to justice through pro bono was almost unimaginable. But Esther had a vision and was unstoppable. The vision first began with law firms. Before founding PBI, Esther, with the assistance of other leaders in the legal community, launched the Law Firm Pro Bono Challenge. That challenge asked firms to dedicate 3% to 5% of their hours to pro bono legal services every year. This challenge became the gold standard, defining pro bono not just for lawyers and firms, but for the larger legal community. Now more than 130 signatory law firms have dedicated more than 60 million hours to pro bono legal services, contributing on average more than 4 million hours of pro bono a year. Yeah. I love the energy in this room. This is great. That alone is quite a remarkable feat. Esther's vision did not stop there. In addition to challenging law firms to measure and declare their commitment to pro bono, Esther formed PBI to reimagine, support, and enhance the provision of pro bono services by law firms. Through its Law Firm Pro Bono project, PBI has advised, trained, and consulted with hundreds of firms around the globe to enhance pro bono legal services. One of those firms is Viacom. In 2000, PBI expanded its focus to include pro bono by in-house legal departments, partnering with the Association of Corporate Counsel to create Corporate Pro Bono. Corporate Pro Bono launched its own challenge in 2006. Unique to the needs and interests of legal department staff, the CPBO Challenge initiative ignited the creation of formal pro bono programs by law departments like ours across the United States and around the globe. At Viacom, we've launched a number of pro bono initiatives with various lawyers at Viacom. They range from helping the Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund to immigration equality. We participated in National Adoption Day, hosted the Dream Not Deferred Project Clinic in partnership with Volunteers of Legal Service, sponsored clinics for kids in need of defense, represented women in uncontested divorces, and working with Lawyers Without Borders, and in partnership with one of our law firms, Sherman & Sterling, we created a groundbreaking multimedia campaign around a television show called Cujba, which publicized issues about sexual offenses in Kenya and reached millions of people. These efforts, along with those of hundreds of other departments, has been an important contribution of access to justice. Sadly, Esther passed away earlier this year. To remember and preserve Esther's legacy, PBI established the Esther Lardon Fund for Innovation in Pro Bono. The fund will ensure that Esther's vision of a society in which everyone receives equal treatment under the law remains strong, and that the work to realize that vision through new and innovative initiatives to improve access to justice will continue for generations to come. On the table in front of you is a pledge card to donate to the Esther Lardant Fund for Innovation in Pro Bono. If you'd like to make a contribution, and all of you should, please fill out the pledge card and hand it to one of PBI's staff members, or drop it in the box by the door on your way out. You can also donate online by visiting PBI's website or mailing a pledge card to PBI. Thank you in advance for your support. You may have noticed over here a portrait of Esther. Brad, Laura, and I are honored to present this portrait tonight in remembrance of Esther, which will be displayed in PBI's offices in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Laura, for the idea and organizing it, and Brad and I were really glad to join with you in this special commemoration of Esther. We have seen tremendous accomplishments in pro bono legal services over the last 20 years. But as we all know, a gap in access to justice remains and is growing. It's incumbent on us, all of us, to continue to advance initiatives that enhance pro bono and access to justice. In May, PBI named Eve Runyon its new president and CEO. I have notes here to introduce you to Eve, but obviously you all know her already. I should have said the great Eve Runyon as its new president and CEO, and would have meant it. Prior to becoming CEO, Eve served for 10 years as the director of corporate pro bono. In that role, Brad, Lauren, and I had the pleasure of working with Eve as she counseled hundreds of in-house departments and Association of Corporate Counsel chapters to develop, grow, and enhance their pro bono legal services. Eve's efforts played a vital role in helping to integrate pro bono into the culture of in-house legal departments. We all owe her a debt of gratitude for her activities in that area. And not surprisingly, Eve's commitment to pro bono didn't begin with her career at PBI. Just as Esther dedicated her career to access to justice, Eve's commitment to serve began early. From volunteering with the public defender's offices in the D.C. area to represent juveniles, to working as a loaned associate at the Legal Aid Society while a young lawyer at Skadden Arps, Eve has used her skills to serve many underserved communities. And so we begin a new chapter. For 20 years, PBI has served as the voice for pro bono in the legal community, the authority on access to justice, and the primary organization that brings law firms and legal departments together to elevate the conversation on social justice. Today, PBI continues to provide us with the opportunity to leverage our connections to collectively make a substantial impact on access to justice. I encourage you tonight to network with your peers, talk to the person sitting at the table next to you, talk about what your programs are doing, your successes, and what challenges you face. We can all learn from one another, and we have PBI to thank for the valuable opportunity for these conversations. And as we move forward, I urge you to continue to stay involved, lend your support, have these conversations, which are so critical to our collective success. By joining our efforts and working together collectively, we can fulfill not just the mission of PBI, but better serve the ethos of our profession, access to justice for everyone. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm delighted to be here with you this evening to present the 2016 John H. Pickering Award. This award is given by the Pro Bono Institute in conjunction with the Pickering family and my firm, WilmerHale. It was created to honor my former partner, John Pickering, who passed away in 2005, but whose ideals resonate now more than ever. John was not only one of the founding partners of Wilmer Cutler Pickering, he was a leader in seeing the importance and value of pro bono as an essential element of not only our justice system, but also our business as law firms. The more renowned and busy John became arguing cases in front of the Supreme Court and representing major corporate clients, the more pro bono work he undertook. He believed that the measure of a great firm was its commitment to pro bono. His motto was that a firm did well by doing good. While John promoted pro bono on many different levels, he was especially proud of his role in launching the PBI's Law Firm Pro Bono Challenge initiative. John knew that the so-called good old days of law firm practice were not always so good. He was acutely aware that those old days were not so good for women or minorities in the profession. Those days were not so good for the poor and the disadvantaged who needed legal help. To help address those concerns, John believed that the PBI's Pro Bono Challenge would mark an important shift in the values and culture of major law firms. So he enlisted his dear friend, Justice William Brennan, to help recruit law firms to join the PBI Challenge. Both John and Justice Brennan were in attendance front and center at the official launch event of the challenge, and John took particular delight in the fact that his firm, Pickering, became the very first challenge signatory. So, when we present the Pickering Award, we're rewarding a firm that represents what makes the legal profession special. We're a profession that measures and cares about what we give back and how we can make our communities better. This year's recipient is the great law firm of White & Case. It has continued John's legacy with its outstanding institutional commitment to pro bono and with the extraordinary performance of not only its lawyers but also its staff in fulfilling that commitment. White & Case's extraordinary performance has reached far and wide across the world. Its key efforts include representing criminal defendants and prisoners on death row, creating the first worldwide online database of human trafficking cases, playing a pivotal role in challenging the U.S. military's Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, and a pioneering program for debt for nature swaps. The roots of the firm's pro bono program are deep, as reflected in the variety of extern programs it sponsors and the rotational placements of its attorneys at leading organizations such as Acumen, Her Justice, and the Legal Aid Society. These exceptional efforts inspire all of us and make White & Case a most deserving recipient of the 2016 John H. Pickering Award. To receive the award on behalf of the firm, please welcome pro bono champion and chair of White & Case, Hugh Verrier.
Thank you, Charles, for that kind introduction. I accept this award on behalf of White & Case, and particularly on behalf of all of those who strive to make us worthy of it. I'd like to acknowledge how special it is to receive this award from our friends at WilmerHale. Part of that is being associated with a man of the stature of John Pickering. We all take inspiration from great mentors in our own firms, but John's life, his humility, his pro bono legacy, and this very award remind us that our pro bono goals transcend our individual firms, just as they transcend our professional lives, and that we are joined in a common cause. You know, we received this award for having built a truly global pro bono practice. Yes, we did that, and we did it because it's the greatest value we can provide using our unique abilities around the world. We also did it because we see the enormity of the challenges we face. Global challenges far greater than we as individuals or as firms acting alone can overcome. But together with growing numbers of like-minded lawyers, From all of our firms and our clients joining forces around the world, we can play the part that the legal profession is uniquely qualified to play and must play to help meet the extreme challenges of our time in the decades ahead. And there's a critical ingredient needed to combine those forces, and that's working with those who can help guide and connect us. And I'm referring to the Pro Bono Institute. You set the standard for mobilizing pro bono services and creating a voice for us all for pro bono. And you inspire us to be better corporate citizens and better people, just as Esther Lardent imagined we all could be. Tonight, we all thank you for that. And I hope we're doing justice to John Pickering's memory. Now, as a reminder of our common purpose and to share with you some of the magic of what we all do, I'd like to introduce you to Alexandru Cujba and his son, Sasha. They will now tell you their story, and just the telling of it is extraordinary.
Thank you, Mr. Verrier, for introducing us. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our family, we express our deepest gratitude to Chairman Verrier, to Colin Diamond, who has led our team of pro bono lawyers, and to all those at White & Case who have helped us since 2012. We are also grateful to the Pro Bono Institute for all that it does to encourage pro bono work and to provide services to those who are unable to afford them. Distinguished guests, the birth of a child is an event that changes lives and fills them with high hopes and dreams. We were very excited with Sasha's birth, expecting to repeat those happy moments that we had with our first child, who is 11 years older. However, we learned that it could be both a joyful but also a very stressful experience. Sasha was a generally healthy child, but suspiciously silent from his birth. Our initial dreams turned into long expectations, numerous consultations and visits to doctors, and almost loss of hopes that he will speak one day. For 5 long years, we were trying to figure out what was wrong, until we were able to get a diagnosis that Sasha has a childhood apraxia of speech, a rare syndrome that has little studies and no clearly defined therapy even here in the United States. When it came time for Sasha to go to school, the Department of Education of the City of New York did not provide a placement for him. While waiting for the proper school services, Sasha was missing school day by day. We felt lost in the system with no support and guidance. This was an especially hard time for us because we were in transition between jobs and couldn't afford a specialized school and all the extra services that Sasha needed at that time. Then it happened. As we call it in our family, as we define it, the miracle happened. White & Case agreed to take our case and represent Sasha against the Department of Education and the city. We found a chaperone who decided to guide us through the dark and stormy bureaucratic waters. Meanwhile, the pressure was mounting because we've learned that there are special pathways in the brain for speech, and if they aren't properly developed by the age of 6 or so, a person would not be able to speak. So we were racing against the clock without a school placement and months of missed education and therapy. White & Case immediately staffed a great team of lawyers who prepared our petitions and quickly brought the case in court. Regretfully, the department still either refused to or could not provide the education Sasha needed. So right away, our lawyers helped enroll Sasha in a private school specializing in helping kids with problems like Sasha's. Then our team sued the department and the city under federal law and to force the city to pay for it. The first hearing and trial took place in the winter of 2012-2013 and was quite an experience for us. The following one was even more painful because we were losing hope. But a sun comes after every severe storm. A very special day happened in our life too, when we learned that we won in court and that the city had to either provide Sasha with a proper placement or pay for his program in a private school. So the city couldn't provide the placement, and Sasha stayed in his school. And Sasha thrived there. He really opened up. You cannot imagine the joy in our house when Sasha spoke his first words. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm glad that my wife is not in this room today, because she would be very emotional. You should see her asking Sasha to repeat again and again the word mama, mama. Imagine that he said that word around the age of 6. So each year since then, the city's Department of Education has not provided Sasha with a proper placement as called for by his individual education plan. And every year since then, White & Case has been by our side to bring suit against the city. The firm has won our case each time. And thanks to White & Case, Sasha is getting the education and services he needs to make the most of his abilities. We're very grateful to White & Case for helping us through this incredibly difficult period and giving us hope for Sasha. We are on a long road. Sasha continues to learn to speak every word, but we appreciate any progress, and each of Sasha's new word and sentence makes us extremely happy. As a confirmation of our efforts and tremendously important support of the honorable people from White & Case, I would like to ask our son to address to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening. My name is Sasha Cujba. I am 9 years. I born in New York City and I love this great city. I am in 4th grade at the Annual School and I like Stein and I go round to my school every day and draws the time with my friends. We study math, reading, science, and art and music and gym, and about also like building Lego toys and watch Super 4. I watch TV. I know the elections to was between Recipient and Recipient, Clinton and Trump. And when I grow up, I to be Entergy and Cooper and run my whole soul. And I leave you all to my soul in 20 years. I like thanks, my friend. What in case? Thanks.
I was particularly moved by what we just heard from Alexandru and Sasha, as I'm sure you all were. I can only imagine how rewarding it was for the attorneys to help their family in such a concrete way. But more importantly, the dedication and focus of those legal professionals made a positive difference in their lives, especially for young Sasha. For 2 decades, PBI has played a critical role in enabling many, many legal professionals in both law firm and corporate settings to make an impact on the lives of others, like we just heard about. Esther Lardant had a vision when she founded PBI 20 years ago. She saw the dire need in society to reach disadvantaged individuals and populations who could not otherwise afford legal representation. and she made it her mission to increase the number of lawyers working to close that justice gap. She and PBI have worked tirelessly to achieve this goal, and this organization has been incredibly successful. As a result of PBI's Law Firm Pro Bono Challenge, law firms now contribute more than 4.3 million hours of pro bono each year. And there are over 160 signatories to the Corporate Pro Bono Challenge, providing pro bono services in 44 countries. Those are impressive statistics. We all mourn Esther's passing this year, but I know this organization, under the capable leadership of Eve Runyon, will continue to advance the work she started. The mission that PBI has to close the justice gap is arguably even more important today than when PBI started. In the technology industry, we talk about the fourth industrial revolution, in which the lines between the digital and physical worlds are blurring, and we are relying on technology to do more and more for us in both the business world and our personal lives. The scenario of click, tap, tap, and you're done is covering more and more things that we do every day. And although the jury is still out, we face a real risk that this technological change may depress blue-collar wages and reduce the number of lower-paying jobs, and in this and other ways, increase income inequality. If this happens, we are likely to face an even greater demand for legal services associated with poverty, stressing the already limited pro bono resources that are available. We cannot let this happen, and we can use technology in ways that help close this gap and further expand the impact that the lawyers working through the PBI and other pro bono initiatives are having. Whether it's through the use of new collaboration and communication tools that enable more efficient sharing of information, cheaper cloud computing technologies more broadly, or the promise of artificial intelligence, which has the potential to revolutionize client intake, fact analysis, and research, there are many avenues to be explored. It's clear that PBI is already focused on continuing to innovate in the provision of pro bono services, with its establishment of the Esther F. Lardant Fund for Innovation in Pro Bono in 2015. And it's critical that this focus on all aspects of innovation in the delivery of legal services continues. We have a great second half of the program coming up, which includes a special presentation in honor of the 10th anniversary of the CPBO Challenge Initiative and presentation of the CPBO Partner Award. But first, let's all enjoy dinner. Bon appetit.
And so I want to say, first of all, congratulations to White & Case for your outstanding pro bono work. And I really want to wish Sasha the very best of luck. I'm going to be watching you in 20 years, and I know you're still going to be supported by your wonderful family. So as my awesome co-chair and very good friend Mike noted earlier, we're celebrating a party here, you guys. This is PBI's 20th anniversary, and we know that PBI over these 20 years has created really an unstoppable movement across our profession to make us all get out there and increase access to justice. So I want to say big congrats to PBI on its 20th birthday, and a really special thanks to our PBI governing board, who's done so much for access to justice. You guys really, really rock, so thank you so much. So it's not just PBI's 20th birthday, but there's another really important milestone going on, and that's the 10th anniversary of the Corporate Pro Bono Challenge Initiative. And so the CPBO Challenge has just been a natural outgrowth of all the work that the Pro Bono Institute was doing with firms, and then in partnership with the Association of Corporate Counsel to encourage in-house lawyers to do more pro bono work. And so by signing the CPBO Challenge Statement, chief legal officers commit to encourage and promote pro bono service by their legal department team, to use their best efforts to encourage their team to support and participate in pro bono services, and also to encourage outside law firms with whom they work to show their support for pro bono by becoming signatories to the Pro Bono Institute's law firm Pro Bono Challenge Initiative. So it's all like working together, we're all encouraging each other, it's all good. And then the challenge also really enables in-house legal departments to benchmark and to really learn about what are best practices, to learn how we can partner with firms, and just how we can together communicate our support by pro bono service. So we're going to see a short video in just a minute about the CPBO challenge, but I just wanted to highlight a few really amazing factoids. So first, as we said, 10 years ago, 2006, our challenge launched, and within a year, we had 50 charter signatories. So we thought that was pretty good, like 50 amazing companies signed up. And then about 5 years passed, and we had 100 signatories. And then today, as we heard earlier, the CPBO Challenge Initiative now has 165 signatories. And these are some of the best companies in the world with teams doing amazing work. And I'm particularly proud that the Clorox company, my company, has been a charter signatory, but I actually was the very first general counsel to sign the CPBO challenge. And yeah. I was in ACC leadership at the time, and when I heard it was happening, I basically tackled Esther and made her let me sign it before she presented it to the board. But it was great. And so then for us at Clorox, the challenge really provides an important resource for our department on how we can be better. For us at Clorox, over the past 10 years, our pro bono participation just keeps growing. I'm delighted that Adam Brink, who leads our program, is here tonight, and he's an inspiration to me. And with Adam's leadership and other Clorox lawyers, Clorox volunteers provide assistance to victims of domestic violence. We help local artists with intellectual property issues. We've aided low-income residents in housing disputes and done a lot of really wonderful work that I'm very proud of, because there's really some terrific service, like all of you in this room, to help people in need. And then I've also had a huge honor to serve as co-chair of the CPBO Advisory Board with our wonderful co-chair that Mike and I are representing tonight, Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft. And so, like so many of you in this room, Brad, Mike, and I have been part of the evolution of in-house pro bono, and we're really encouraged that in-house lawyers are increasingly stepping up to fight for access to justice, and then together we can all work together to create a better, more cohesive global society. I think we all know that there are still 80% of the legal needs in the U.S. that are unmet, and something must be done to make a difference. And as lawyers, we have a unique professional responsibility to provide assistance to those who cannot afford it. And again, I'm talking to people who are like the leaders of changing this and doing amazing work. So on behalf of PBI and CPBO, I want to thank each and every one of our challenge signatories for your pro bono service, and just encourage you to keep enlisting others so that we are all working together to fight for access to justice. And like everyone in this room, I also really loved Esther, and so I know that we're going to keep fighting together, so we'll continue to be inspired by her and continue to live her legacy. So as we celebrate achievements in pro bono, I'd like to ask you to look at the screen for a special presentation on the CPBO Challenge and all the things that we've done over the past 10 years. Hey, thanks very much, you guys. Have a good rest of the night.
Good evening, everyone. It seems like only yesterday, but it's now been more than 16 years that ACC has been proud to support PBI through our global partnership, Corporate Pro Bono. It seems like only yesterday, and I can remember Susan Hackett, who was then the General Counsel of ACC, and Esther Lardent sitting down and cooking up the idea of a CPBO. So, as always, we're excited. I'm excited to be here to represent ACC and celebrate the accomplishments of firms, legal departments, and public interest and legal aid organizations. We're especially proud about the 10th anniversary of the CPBO initiative. It's a truly wonderful milestone, and certainly we want to congratulate Eve Runyon, who was CPBO's director, on her success in succeeding Esther as PBI's CEO. We think in terms, at least from ACC's perspective, and I'm sure you share it, there is no better keeper of that legacy. We're amazed at all that CPBO has been able to accomplish in the past decade, and we look forward to all the opportunities that lie ahead. And tonight, I'm joined by Bill Perlstein of BNY Mellon, and we have the distinct honor to present the 2016 Pro Bono Partner Award, which recognizes projects and programs that demonstrate effective cooperation between legal departments, law firms, or public interest organizations. And to receive this award, it's a competitive process. Projects must demonstrate a significant benefit to a local community, demonstrate a high degree of participation by the in-house lawyers and the legal staff, and they must take an innovative approach to the delivery of pro bono services. Recipients of the 2016 Pro Bono Award, Pro Bono Partner Award, embody the spirit of cooperation and collaboration through their work, and they're examples of how partnerships can truly change lives. So let me now turn it over to Bill, who will tell you about this evening's honoree.
Thanks very much, Veta. On behalf of BNY Mellon, a signatory to the CPO Challenge, I'm proud and honored to be able to present this award. I've often stood up here previously to present the Pickering Award, as Charlie Platt did today as a WilmerHale partner. I will say that I never expected to be up here presenting an award in November on a day that was 70 degrees in New York. Or that I'd be able to talk about the world champion Chicago Cubs. And as an aside, and they'll go nuts because this is not my prepared remarks, Back to the Future 2 predicted, of course, 2015. And they did, that was 1989, which is really quite remarkable. There is hope. It is possible that it is 2015 and there won't be an election next week. Don't attribute that to the bank. Those of us at BNY Mellon, if I still have a job there, were honored last year to receive the CPO Pro Bono Award for our partnership with the National LGBT Bar Association and White & Case to create the online LGBT tax resource. Sasha, you have a great law firm that works for you. When you are the success that everybody in this room knows you will be in 20 years, you'll give back. You also have great parents, so don't forget that too. The recipient of the 2016 CPO Pro Bono Award is Entergy Corporation in partnership with the Louisiana Civil Justice Center and the Orleans Parish Civil District Court for their creation of the Self-Help Resource Center. The center is a help desk that assists thousands of unrepresented low-income and vulnerable domestic court litigants in the greater New Orleans area. Launched by the Civil District Court with significant help from Entergy's legal department, the initiative exemplifies the value and influence of in-house legal departments in the field of pro bono service. In 2013, Entergy partnered with the court, and the Louisiana Civil Justice Center joined the partnership in mid-2014, ensuring dedicated staffing and administration. Each week at the center, volunteer attorneys assist self-represented litigants with domestic legal issues by completing court forms, filing pleadings, and conducting legal research on a case-by-case basis. Through Entergy's leadership, the Self-Help Resource Center has become the first stop for unrepresented individuals struggling with domestic issues in Orleans Parish, with an average of 25 visitors a day. Since 2013, the center has served nearly 8,000 individuals having domestic legal issues. More than 95% of their visitors have resolved their issues as a result of their visit. It helps unclog court dockets, reduces the burdens on the judges' staffs, and promotes the principle that the courts are open and fair to all, creating a widespread and lasting impact on the community. The partnership was so successful that it was replicated at a neighboring district court where more than 2,800 clients have been assisted. Receiving the award tonight is Entergy Executive Vice President and General Counsel Marcus Brown. Marcus, please come up.
Thank you, Veta and Bill. Let me get my remarks here. We want to say thank you to the Pro Bono Institute for giving us this award. And I am joined here tonight by a number of people who have been instrumental in the program that we've done. Judge Tiffany Chase from Civil District Court is here. Jonathan Rhodes, who is the Executive Director of the Louisiana Civil Justice Center, is here as well. And we're also joined by Kathy Lichtenberg, Wendy Robinson, and Kathy Gracia, who are from my office, who are key contributors to this program's success. And since we live in a world of Twitter, texting, Snapchat, and left swiping, I should point out that the lovely young lady sitting with me is my daughter, Rachel Brown, and my equally lovely wife is not here tonight. Judge Chase, who has been, as I mentioned, instrumental in the development of this program, has a keen mind for project management, and she's very efficient. And so when I pulled out these comments that I was going to make tonight, she looked at me and she said, "Are you going to read all that?" And then she handed me a red pen. She said to cut it down to 30 seconds. So what I'm going to say tonight is what my mother always told me: when you can't think of anything to say, just say thank you. I want to say thank you to the Pro Bono Institute. We are proud partners of the challenge. We are signatories. We do what we think we need to do in the communities where we serve, and we are so happy to be the recipients of this award. We will take this back to New Orleans. We might throw a little Mardi Gras parade around it, and hopefully we will be back here celebrating the success of others next year. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. For those of you who've been looking at your program and expected John Schultz to come up here tonight, I was pressed into service. Unfortunately, John couldn't be here tonight. Eve did inherit, among other traits of Esther, the ability to cajole me to do just about anything she asked me to do. So you've inherited a really good trait from Esther, and we're proud of that. I'm also a member of the CPBO Advisory Board, along with Laura and a number of other people here, and I'm very proud to be a member of that for some years. I am very excited to be with you to talk about the celebrated achievements in pro bono that we've been talking about tonight. It truly has been an inspiring program, and I would like to thank a number of people on behalf of PBI, our dinner co-chairs, Michael and Laura and Lisa for standing in for Brad. We'll punish him for that later, for not showing up. PBI's annual dinner benefit committee and sponsors that do the yeoman's work of getting all of you here. The PBI leadership and staff, which are truly phenomenal. I've had the opportunity to work with them for a number of years, and they're just great, led obviously by Eve now. All of our speakers tonight, and of course all of you for joining us this evening. I also want to congratulate tonight's awardees and to thank you to White & Case and to Entergy for participating in our program here tonight. We're inspired by your work, and I hope that everyone can come home from this evening with a renewed sense of dedication to pro bono. I want to take a moment to acknowledge PBI's contributions to this country's justice system and the culture of pro bono worldwide. And I'll add my voice to the congratulations to PBI on its 20th anniversary and the Corporate Pro Bono Challenge that I feel very personally about on the 15th anniversary of the initiative. So when PBI was founded in 1996, it very, very quickly grew the support of law firm leaders and general counsel. Now, the pro bono landscape back there was drastically different, with pro bono largely being divorced from the business aspects and missions of law firms. Thanks to the great work of PBI, we are now able to celebrate law firm pro bono challenge firms performing, as has been said a few times tonight, more than 4 million hours of pro bono service each year. But remember that what those hours do are help people like Sasha tonight, and that's what makes it so meaningful. We're able to celebrate White and Case, making large-scale impact around the world that is cascading positive impacts for entire countries. Because of PBI's work, we're able to celebrate Entergy's partnership that resolves the issues of 95% of its visitors, issues that might otherwise plague individuals or families for months or years, perhaps while continuing to get worse. This is what we mean when we say celebrate achievements in pro bono. This is what it means to be members of this great profession that we are blessed to be a part of. Now, the legal staff of Aetna has taken this commitment to heart. I am joined by a number of my colleagues from the Aetna law team. Aetna's pro bono program, I've come to know after 6 months there, started over 35 years ago. And we were a charter signatory of the challenge as well. Now, this long-term commitment to pro bono makes me incredibly proud to now be a part of this organization. Our Aetna Law Department employees have always found time to help others who are in need of legal services, and we have had a particular focus over the last few years on advocacy for children through the Center for Children's Advocacy and the Connecticut Medical Legal Partnership. And I can assure you that as I get more involved in what's going on in pro bono, we'll make Aetna even better than it is today. Now, this is the kind of work that is really impactful and speaks volumes about the importance of what we do, the importance of pro bono being integrated into our legal cultures, and the importance of PBI's work and initiatives to support those who do pro bono and, of course, recruit others to help join the cause. So as you leave this evening, be mindful that we do not simply come here to give thanks and congratulations, which we have, or hear inspiring speeches about the importance of pro bono, which we have, or make new contacts and reacquaint ourselves with old ones, which we do. Those are very important aspects of this annual dinner. But I think more importantly, we come here to reflect, to rethink, to renew our commitment to our core values as lawyers, as legal staff and members of the legal profession. The core value of giving back. We must remember that commitment to service that first led us down the path to where we are now. We believe in justice for all, and we want to help others achieve that dream. And together, we can make it happen. We are at a turning point that will define the state of access to justice for years to come. I hope you will join me, PBI, and CPBO, its leadership and staff, and its new president and CEO, Eve Runyon, to fight for access to justice in new, bold, and creative ways. Now, the fun part of the evening. As you say your goodbyes, I'm not sure why you asked me to do this, as you say your final goodbyes and head out, please join us near the exit for our dessert reception. But truly, I am honored to be up here tonight. I think the work of PBI is remarkable, and the things that we can do to help those around us is unlimited. And so thank you all for being here tonight. Good night. And we hope to see you in the March 2017 PBI Annual Conference.